Hey, what's up, everybody? Decided to do another review. Last review was a bit, not quite as good as some of my other reviews, but some of my other reviews, like I actually have done any other ones, but it's not as good as I would have liked it. But today, I wanted to do one of my all-time favorite movies, and that's Cloverfield. Now, Cloverfield is just, frankly, I love this movie. I can't help but love this movie. This is a movie I shouldn't love. This is a movie that really wasn't that amazing. This is a movie that my brother doesn't even like. And then my other brother liked, but he said wasn't that good and not as good as I thought. But this is one of those movies that you're going to like even though, or this is a movie that I personally like, even though, it's not the best movie ever. Even though it's clearly, I wouldn't even put it in my top 10 or top 5 best movies ever. But this is probably, I would say, my top 3 favorite movies ever. Not best, but favorite. Now, Cloverfield is in the, monster movie genre. Now, I'd seen King Kong, I'd seen Godzilla, I'd seen them all. I'd seen them, and I loved them, and so Cloverfield, when I saw this on DVD, I was a tad bit underwhelmed. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I didn't think it was gonna be any good or any fun. I thought it was just gonna be kind of stupid. Oh, yeah, America's just trying to, catch on. The fact that they were able to do this from a first-person view, where it's it was this guy who was holding the camera, and it wasn't just filmed in a Godzilla or King Kong format, where you're watching other people, but it was this had really happened. People were in this, just like the Blair Witch Project. I found it amazing, because that's what you want in a monster movie. You want to be, oh god, this giant thing. Oh, in King Kong, I loved King Kong. It's probably my top 5 best movies of all time. But I didn't feel like ever I was scared. I felt bad for the people, because I'm like, okay, I know this is just acting. While I was captivated by the story, I knew it was just acting. But Cloverfield, it's like you're involved in the movie. I couldn't help but love this movie, because I felt like there was this real threat. And more importantly, the TV station, everything like that everything just, really got to me with that. So it starts off, they're in this building, and, it's like everything's okay, and then suddenly there's an explosion downtown. And so, of course, they go outside to check it out, and, I've always loved monster movies, and so when we get to see the monster, and then, you just see it for a little bit, and then you see this thing come flying at them while they're on the streets, and they go in, and they get out of the way, and when they look to see what it was the head of the Statue of Liberty. And that's when I knew, oh my god, this is just awesome. This is just awesome. There's nothing I could say about it other than that. I was just captivated at that point. And then how the military came in, how it really felt like this had happened, because the military was there and they were saying, we don't know what the hell this is, and just like in a real monster situation it would be, which is something I didn't like about Godzilla. I kind of felt like Godzilla should have been different stories every time, like it was a brand new threat. But with Godzilla coming every time, why was anyone living on Japan anymore? That was my question, if they knew it was coming. And this, they were like, we don't know what to do, we have no idea what the threat is. And it really, kind of captivated me. One thing I didn't like, I'm not just gonna get completely into dislikes, but, while it's on my mind, I did not like how, when people would die, they still tried to have that funny guy character. I understand you want to keep it light, you want to keep it kind of funny, but I mean, come on. This girl's fiancé just died, and the fiancé was the main character's brother. He just died, okay? I can't imagine that you can make jokes after that. You can even try and make it, semi-serious, or you have to make it serious. You can't just make it all, light and comedy. Someone just died, someone very important in these people's lives, and that's something I didn't like, but I still loved this movie. I also loved the monster itself. When you got to see the monster, it was sort of otherworldly. You're used to seeing, these monsters like Godzilla. Okay, oh, that looks like a lizard-esque creature, or some sort of dragon-esque creature. And King Kong, obviously, gorilla, and Gamera, it was obviously a turtle. You had no idea what this thing was. It was otherworldly looking. Yes, it had, legs, it had the feet, it had, these, gill-like things, but you had no idea what it was. You had no clue, and you were horrified by it. You were horrified that the military was sending all these things at it, and still couldn't stop it. And you felt like you were part of the entire experience. And you also grew to love the characters. You grew to love, the whole relationship between HUD, I think was his name. It's been a while since I watched it. I didn't decide to watch it recently. And the other girl, I think her name was like Marlene or something like that. And you were also horrified by what might happen to them. You grew to care for them. And that's one of the things I loved about this movie. I didn't care about any of the characters in King Kong or Godzilla. I didn't give a crap about them. I just wanted to see King Kong, wreak some havoc. I was like, where is Kong? When's he going to beat the crap out of everyone? That's what I was looking forward to in King Kong. In this, I kind of wanted the heroes to survive. And at the same time, I wanted to see the monster, which was one of the other negatives I had about this movie. You didn't see the monster enough. The monster didn't appear enough. You didn't, when you got to see the monster, you were horrified. And I understand that you're not going to go looking for the monster if you are these people. But at the same time, you're going to make a monster movie. You're going to try and, get us to like this monster, get into this monster. You're going to have trouble doing it when all you're doing is not showing it. I mean, we got to see it at one point, but we got to see it from kind of a lower point view. We didn't get to see, like, the whole monster. We did get to see it once on, like, they're standing on top of a building, and they look over and they see the monster. But otherwise, it really was not enough of the monster. I don't know how else they could have worked it in. Hats off to them for working it as much as they did, but, it's something I didn't like. Overall, I would give this movie like a 9.5 out of 10, but that's just because it's one of my favorites of all time. I can't explain why I love it enough. I just have loved this movie ever since I've seen it. Must have watched it at least like 6 times. Cloverfield's obviously one of my all-time favorites. I wouldn't put it in my top 10 best movies, because as a movie it had its flaws. You became motion sick, you kind of were confused why the people were acting a certain way, and yes, it was a bit cheesy how all the characters, spoke sometimes like, we're gonna get through this, and you know that they're not gonna get through this, but at the same time, you love almost everything about it, because you're going back to that time when you were a kid, when you used to watch those monster movies, and you were a little bit scared of that King Kong, or you were a little bit scared of Godzilla, and you wanted those heroes to prevail. But in this movie, they didn't prevail. And now that you're grown up, and now that you understand the world, you kind of like that they didn't prevail. Like, it's realistic. If a monster ever came to New York, you're not going to survive. You're going to die. You're dead. You're in New York, and there's this giant beast running around that's just demolishing everything. And I just can't explain how much I love this movie. If you have never seen Cloverfield, just go watch it. Please, you'll like it unless you get motion sick easily. You will love this movie. It's a great movie. It's obviously not one of the greatest of all time, but it's one of my favorites, and I beg you, I plead with you, go see Cloverfield. It is just a fantastic movie. Go out, buy it on DVD. It'll be a popcorn night. You can just pop some popcorn, eat with someone, or maybe just watch it alone with yourself, and just watch this great movie, okay? Because you'll find yourself on the edge of your seat, and you're gonna like it. So that's my review. I hope you guys liked it. Rate, comment, subscribe. I hope to be doing a lot of these. Or at least, enough to keep the channel away from the whole, magic. But at the same time, I will be doing magic videos. So that's all for this time. This is Palki and Naruto, signing off.